Okay guys, so it's been a couple of weeks using the Infinix S4 and I thought this is a good time, or I've used it enough to be able to share with you my full thoughts. So this is the Infinix S4 full review. Okay, so it's really easy to like the Infinix S4 given the price point. So because for 14,500, 14,900 you're getting a 3GB RAM, 32GB storage, a 32 megapixel selfie shooter, 3 cameras at the back, 4000 milliamp battery, Android Pie. So there is like very little that you can say you already hate about the phone when you hear the specs versus the price, and literally that's it with this sort of market point right now. It's just competition for who can offer the best for the lowest price, and Infinix is winning that game. But when you open up the phone and you look at the UI and you use it, it gives you sort of a different perspective of the device. Not a bad one necessarily, but yeah, the whole point of a review is not just the specs of the phone, it's also how it performs and how you interact with the phone and how you like your experience with the phone. I've been using this phone for a couple of days, and there's one thing that I really like about this phone, and that will not change anytime, because I guess Transsion is trying to push that very well, and that's that you're getting good specs and a really good design. I particularly like this sort of gradient. It's black and it's blue at the top, and it has some sparklingness. I'll try to capture a couple of videos to show you that. So yeah, if I was just to choose a phone because of how it looks, and I had an option for around this price point, this will look really good for me, and I will definitely pick it. Just from the looks, I will pick it for that. And then you switch it on and you find a good display. This is a good display, but it has issues. My major issue with the phone is that the display feels really different. I guess it's because there's a couple of high-end phones like the S10e that I've been using, but you sort of feel like the colors are washed out. It's not that saturated, but it's normal because when you compare it, say, with the Spark 3 Pro, a really good phone, it feels like the exact phone in terms of design, display, build quality. So yeah, I'm not complaining about the display. It's a good display. Tecno and Infinix are known for good displays at this price point, and yeah, it's a good display. The thing I really don't like about this phone is XOS. The new version of XOS is called Cheetah. Let me just check. It's called Cheetah. It's version 5.00, and it has a lot of issues. First of all, it looks cartoonish. The icons are cartoonish. It just looks weird. You can see for yourself, the icons look weird. The colors are cartoonish. There's still a lot of bloatware. You can find PHX browser. I had to reset the phone actually to just show you the bloatware, because the thing I do when I first launch any Infinix phone, the first thing I do is to remove all the apps I don't know about. So I had to reset it to just talk about this bloatware. So there's Visha, there's Cooper, there's Asphalt game, there's Boomplay, there's Palm Store, there's something called Fruit Frolic, and the launcher has ads suggested at the top, and I don't know how to explain all this. So yeah, there's a lot of things I don't like about XOS that Infinix is still pushing, and I don't understand why, because we've already discussed the fact that you're getting a phone for personal use. You're not getting a phone to be a billboard. You're not getting a phone to be having all these announcements about what has happened where and all that. I would like to opt into that if I want to, and I would like companies to know that people will opt into stuff on their own. If you force stuff on people, people will not be happy about that. And Infinix is forcing not only apps, there's adverts, there's videos, there's news, it's just a mess. And yes, this is not a deal breaker if you know how to uninstall them and if you know how to block the ads from the launcher, but it is a deal breaker if you have to do that after already paying. But the other good thing is you're paying quite little compared to the competition, so you could view it as that. How to make this phone better for me in terms of just the user experience do with 𝐭𝐿 to get a better version of 𝐭𝐿. I like what Samsung has done with One UI, because One UI feels very different from, you remember TouchWiz, you remember, I don't know, Samsung Experience. One UI just looks good. It's Samsung, yes, but it's good. It's clean, it's fast, it's intuitive. You enjoy using it even though you have to find a couple of things. 𝐭𝐿 is simple, yes. The settings are simple, everything is simple. But the fact that you have bloatware, the fact that you have ads, the fact that you have unwanted apps, the fact that you have very cartoonish icons. Yes, One UI has cartoonish icons, these are more cartoonish. Just makes you feel like you're using sort of a cheap phone or a cheap experience that you shouldn't be having. It's Android, the experience should not feel cheaper because of a skin. In terms of performance, I like the performance of the phone. Things are fast. You can switch between apps fast. There's times when you have to wait for something to load, but that's okay. It performs quite well. I have no complaints about that. Yeah, there's nothing I can just pinpoint and say, oh, this is trash, or yeah, because I know what I should be expecting at a certain price point, and I'm getting just about that. Yeah, I like the battery life. The standby time is great, unlike an expensive phone like the S10e, which I've been complaining about the standby time for a while now. The standby time of this phone is really great. You can leave it at 90%, wake up at 89% or just 90%. So it means the phone knows how to optimize itself when it's not being used. Also, you can get about 6 to 7 hours if you're watching a video, maybe even 8 hours of screen on time. And yeah, I love the battery of this phone. The problem is this: at around the same price, Samsung has given us USB Type-C. Infinix is yet to do that. You're getting micro USB and no fast charging. Yeah, it's about much faster than you could say normal charging, but it's really slow. I wish it had good fast charging. I wish it was USB Type-C, because at this price point and in this day and age, it's very possible to have this. I don't know why Infinix keeps making it look like it's a high-end feature when low-end phones are having it by now. And it will be a good selling point to have such things as USB Type-C at this price point for Infinix. I think I've discussed most of the things that people think about when deciding on whether to get a phone or not. The only thing that could be a deal breaker for you of what I've discussed currently is whether you should get it and uninstall the apps, or whether you can stomach the user interface that's really not very good, and whether you can compare it to something else for this price point and get something better. And now to the main thing, the cameras. So for both the 14K version and the 18K version, you're getting 3 cameras at the back. One's wide angle, one's a depth sensor, and the other one is a main sensor. I don't know how to put this lightly. The camera is good, the main camera. Forget about everything else, the main camera is good. The wide angle camera is not as wide. There's distortions. You just look at the photo and you see it curve in some ways, so it's distorted. The focus camera is good because you're getting good portraits. They're not very good, but they're really so. If you're looking to get portrait shots from this phone, you can get good ones, but if you're looking for wide angle shots, don't expect good ones, because one, the wide angle camera doesn't have focus, so you can't touch to focus. Whatever it's focused there, you can't change it. Also, the UI is just a mess for the wide angle. You're used to finding a button to switch to 2 times or wide angle and all that. On the Infinix, it's somewhere at the top, so you have to look for it. It's not even written wide angle, so you have to imagine that the fact that there's sort of an angle icon there is what you should press to get the wide angle camera. But you won't be using the wide angle camera as much, but expect really good shots from the main camera. Also expect really good portraits, and here are a couple of samples I've taken.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find a light in your soul, I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness, even when you're out of focus. I will be the light in your life, you'll see it clear.
so instead of just talking about the 32 megapixel front camera, let me use it to shoot this video. So it has focus, it recognizes your face, so it focuses on the face. It shoots up to 1080p, and yeah, it captures, I could say, good quality video because I'm holding it using my hand. Currently it's not very stable, but yeah, you can use it for videos and all that. You can use it for selfies if you are into selfies and all that, but that it is a 32 megapixel camera should standard, because the only other camera I know, or phone I know with 32 megapixel cameras currently is the Huawei P30 Lite, which is over double the price of this phone. So if you're looking for a good selfie camera, you can check the quality of this. It's really good. Yeah. So yeah, talking is not easy to a camera, but I've tried to give you a sort of experience of what it's like to use this phone. I hope you enjoy the review. I hope it helps you pick between all the phones I've mentioned. I've tried to mention phones from the same sort of category, and I've tried to point to you what I really like about this phone and what I really don't like. I hope I've talked about everything, but I'm thinking if you're looking for a phone for 15k, for 14k, you can consider this. But if you can raise the amount of money you're willing to spend, there's competition. There's a Galaxy A20, or if you don't have just 15k or 14k for this phone, the Spark 3 Pro is really good. The Tecno Spark 3 Pro at 12k. It even has better battery, and you don't have to deal with the fact that one of your lenses is not really good. That's the wide angle camera, because the Spark 3 Pro doesn't have the wide angle camera. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Infinix S4? What do you think about the design? What do you think about the cameras from the samples I've shown you? What do you think about the display and everything? Tell me in the comment sections, and remember to subscribe.